Hey everybody, we just broke a big story, a huge story really, on the website in the David investigation, in the investigation into Celeste Revas' death. I know everyone has been waiting to hear something about this. It has been 2 months since Celeste's decomposing body was found in David's Tesla, and now we know, if you for 1 second thought that the police had forgotten about this and this case was not going to be solved, we now know that the police have been working diligently on this case.
This is where viewers realize the investigation never stopped. The public may have been frustrated, but behind the scenes, detectives were tightening the noose. And this moment sets the expectation. What's coming next is serious. This isn't gossip. This is the beginning of the unraveling.
And here's what we have found out from our law enforcement sources. David is viewed as a suspect in this case. That may seem obvious, but remember, they have not publicly said anything like that. They have not even said publicly that he is a person of interest. We have spoken to several well-placed sources in law enforcement, and they say that in the investigation, they are viewing him as a suspect. Another thing is they're viewing this as a homicide. We told you more than a month ago that the key thing here is police were waiting to get the medical examiner report back, and they wanted to find out the manner and cause of death. They wanted that from the medical examiner because the reality is at this point, yes, they know that her body was decomposing, that it was chopped up, but they don't know how she died, and they were waiting for those results. We are told they still do not have toxicology results from the medical examiner's office.
This is the exact moment the entire case turns. And let's be blunt, when a decomposing, dismembered body is found in your Tesla, the idea that investigators hadn't labeled you a suspect yet was technically not proof of innocence. This confirmation shuts down every systematic excuse people tried to build around David.
However, what investigators do know so far is leading them to treat this as a homicide. They're still waiting for the medical examiner report to back that up, but they are viewing David as a suspect and viewing this as a homicide. So there's something else here that's two more things we got to tell you about. And one of them has to do with the fact that there could be other arrests here. David may not be the only person that they end up arresting in this case. So we'll tell you why in just a moment. Now, here is another very key fact that we have been told, that in the spring of 2025, they have information, police do, about David going to Santa Barbara County, a remote area of Santa Barbara County. That's how it was described to us, that he went to this remote area, spent several hours there, and then returned to LA. Don't know anything more at this point, don't know. Spring of 2025 is a long way from September, early September, when her body was found in the Tesla. So we don't know yet what exactly that direct connection is, if there's a direct connection to the case, but they have this information about him going to that remote area, and they are trying to find out more about that. So, what I'd said about other arrests. So, again, they don't have the manner of death yet. They don't have the cause of death. What we're told, though, is the manner in which the body was dismembered leads police to believe that whoever did that to Celeste had help, that it was not something that whoever the person is who did it could have done by themselves, and likely, we're told, did have help.
This screams premeditation. This screams preparation. And this screams consciousness of guilt. Nobody accidentally takes a secret long trip to a remote location unless they have something to hide. This detail alone is enough to send investigators straight back to the Santa Barbara with drones, dogs, and excavation teams.
Now, we are not being told that there are any other people they are viewing as a suspect. We're not told that there are other persons of interest, just that what they've seen with the body and how it was dismembered, it likely, they feel, was not done by one person. So right now, Again, just to recap, David, viewed as a suspect by investigators on this case. They view this as a homicide, still waiting for the ME's report to back up the fact that her cause of death is a homicide. And this mysterious Santa Barbara trip in the spring of 2025, I think that is going to be interesting if police can find out more. And then the final question is, who else was involved in dismembering Celeste's body? Don't have an arrest yet, but this is a good sign for people waiting to see if there is going to be justice for Celeste. You know, a lot of times when these cases drag out, people start to think the police aren't doing any work. We saw this with Brian Kohberger in Idaho, and then it turned out the police had been diligently covering all their bases here to try and bring someone to justice. Maybe that is going to happen for Celeste Reva and her family after all. Of course, if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel to get all the latest on this case.